morning, everyone. It is Wednesday. We know what that means. It's Wealth Wellness Wednesday. Good morning, everyone. This is Carol Sue, aka Naughty Boss, live with two
Sisters. Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Janice, aka Wellness Diva 5.0 on this Wealth Wellness Wednesday. Rumor has it that there was some snowflakes in North Haven last night. I don't see any on the ground, but I'm sure some maybe came through because it is that cold. I have my little electric heater on down here, and it was 52 when I walked in the room, and I was like, oh. So I turned that on early. So now it's starting to warm up a little bit, thankfully, and I'm very happy about that.
That's awesome. Well, we're entering into that, change of season. Poor turkey's getting a bad rap. Christmas music's already on, all the decorations. People are, decorating outdoors. They got a lot of trees up. Not my thing. I absolutely love Thanksgiving. So I give Thanksgiving its due justice, and the fall colors and decorations and pumpkins and spices and all that good stuff stays up until, just after Thanksgiving. And then, of course, John's birthday is usually right around that. So we kind of keep things up, and then we slowly start to, I have actually started decorating earlier than I have in years past, just because of our schedule. And I want to make sure that I get to enjoy the tree and all that happy jazz. But, I always respect how people, want to do things. I think the thing that bums me out when people start to decorate that early, they're typically also the ones that take the tree down the day after Christmas, and they don't really, it's almost like neither holiday is fully embraced. Because what happens with, obviously, Thanksgiving, people just rush right into the whole Christmas decor. Tommy doesn't get his due justice, the turkey, we call him Tom Turkey or whatever name we're going to name him this year. And then the same thing happens with Christmas when there's actually 12, Christmas is obviously different than Thanksgiving. There's 12, if you're a Christian belief, there's 12 days of Christmas, and Christmas goes until the Epiphany, which is in January. So, it's the way we were brought up, I guess. That's my thing. And I know for some people, but to me, it's almost like the Christmas is over before you get to, and of course they're kind of moving on to New Year's. So they all kind of blur together. But, I think each, for our family specifically, we like to embrace and not rush things, because they're such special moments. In today's day and age, especially during the holiday time, it's almost impossible to see everyone unless all your friends and family live in one area. That doesn't always happen. So you're scheduling things, usually have gatherings before Christmas, after Christmas, because the physical day has changed geographically for so many families that it's not a question of just going to mom and dad's house anymore. It's in-laws, it's relatives, it's friends, it's aunts, uncles, it's all over the place. So that's one of the beautiful things that I think our family does, is we embrace, and it's just the way we were brought up with our faith, that we embrace each holiday as is and give it all its due justice.
Well, yeah, of course, in mid-October, I started noticing the Christmas displays were just starting to come out. Right. And of course, with traveling back and forth to Philly, there's all sorts of Christmas channels, the Hallmark channel, this channel. So, which was kind of cool, especially when you're on a long ride, of course. But the signs are everywhere. So it's like, where do you, I think we were talking about, notifications the other day, like where do you draw the line? Like for me, it's, about really the whole holiday, and remembering when I was a kid, and, it seemed like it took eons to get to Christmas Eve. And I remember, being so excited, couldn't wait for Daddy to get home, because they always had a big Christmas party at work, and he would bring home trays of cookies and all sorts of stuff. And excuse me, of course, and now seeing it through, the eyes of my little grandniece and nephew. And of course, when the older grandniece and nephew were a lot younger, seeing Christmas through their eyes and their excitement, and just like they're in awe of the season. So for me, that's what it's all about. It's about bringing back those memories, feeling them, and seeing how the different traditions, maybe it's the same tradition, but maybe it's changed around. So I think that's always kind of exciting, and to me that's kind of what the holiday season is all about too.
Yeah, the sense, the smell, the interpretation, the excitement, the what it's going to be like. And we had excitement a few years ago, and I hope we don't have that same excitement, but it was actually kind of funny, is our brother was taking the turkey out of the oven. And, I told him, I said, this pan's big, you get the juices. And of course I stuffed the bird as well. And he didn't quite have a handle on it. And, let's be real, with all the juices or whatever, the bird is slippery and it slides off the pan. And literally it was like, skeet shooting or shuffleboard. The turkey is sliding down the tile floor, and we were trying to pick it up and it kept falling and going further. It was the most funniest thing. And we all looked at each other and we're like, okay, this is instead of a 3-second rule, this is like a 30-second rule, because the damn thing kept just going and going and going. And we laughed. It was a little stressful when it was happening, but we were laughing as we're trying to get it back in the pit. It was really kind of funny. So we're hoping we don't have that kind of excitement, because, that's one of those things where you only live it once. You don't want to live that again. But it was fun. And, so I love the holiday time, because you reminisce about holidays past, and that makes it so much fun. Totally change of channel with, Wealth Wellness Wednesday. We're going to change the mindset a little bit, so I obviously people are coming off of, what I call the election hangover, that, this hangover that just won't stop. And we are still waiting for states to finish counting, believe it or not. Like I can't even go there. But anyways, a bunch of us girls went out last night. It was very loud in the 2 different spots that we were at. So that's why we didn't end up doing our Triumph Tuesday, which, I'm kind of going to intertwine some of that in there. And, really coming off these, the election, they just, because they're so darn long now, there's no election day, it's election month. And then the aftermath, the hangover of trying to get all these votes in. So I was not around any news outlet last night, thankfully. You got to take a break, you got to tune out. But apparently someone did make an announcement, 45 did make an announcement. So my girlfriend, who absolutely adores him, and she shared it. She shared it on one of the platforms that we're currently on. And immediately she received a notification, because I believe she shared it. What is today? Yes. I don't know if I think she tried to share it early this morning. I'm looking at the time. Yes, 6:34 this morning. She went to share the news. So it might've been maybe a video. And Book Flake restricted her account. I have a picture of her account. And when you get on certain different platforms, when your account is restricted or banned, or, they put you in this, what everyone calls jail, they usually give you like a list of, all of a sudden now they form this entire list of your infractions. So, they just said it goes against their standards. I'm not sure about sharing an announcement, because then it would appear that it's an untruth, but it is true. Your account is restricted for 24 hours. Your group activity is restricted. You can't go live for 29 days. You can't advertise for 29 days. And your post, when you eventually do be able to post, will go down in the newsfeed. Now, most platforms do have a way that you can refute it. You can request a review. So she requested a review because she's like, I shared the exact same news on Twitter. the exact same news on True Social, and it, he announced it. So it, like, I didn't dream it, it happened. And I didn't get banned. So she put in she wants it reviewed. The kicker, we actually offer the chance to request a review and follow-up if you get decisions, or if we get decisions wrong. We have fewer reviewers right now because of COVID-19, the coronavirus outbreak. We're trying hard to prioritize reviewing content with the most potential for harm. So apparently her post about him announcing was potential for harm. This means we may not be able to follow up with you through your feedback because of the outbreak. Now, from what I understand, which is also true news, the current person occupying 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue announced that there is no more outbreak, correct? I mean, that I didn't dream that, right? That did happen, right? He made the announcement. So are certain platforms above, the government, above the law, above, what announcements are making? So apparently this platform still says that there's an outbreak, number one, and the fact that her post could cause harm and it's untruthful. It's not true. Didn't happen. I thought that was the kind of I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking about the First Amendment. Is the First Amendment not real anymore? Is the Constitution not real? I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think that when you do not have an equal application of anything, whether we're talking about the law or in this specific case, social media platforms, there's no application or equal anything. So with that being said, no one, I find it very interesting that they're still saying that there's an outbreak when, as you mentioned, we all know that the puppet did mention that it's over. That's a fact. Okay. Now you may have somebody may come along and dispute that with me, and I have no problem with that. But in that case, you have to look at the fact, and we all know that certain people within certain political arenas gather their own facts, which are not the facts. They are their opinions. That's unfortunately the reality of the world we live in. And I'm trying to say it as gentle as I can, because there's a lot more other things that I would love to say. And it's not that
we also got to be careful. I mean, that's why a lot of people say, oh, sometimes you guys, the two of you, what do you got, your own health and wellness code of ethics of how you say things? Yeah, because we also have to be careful, because we don't want to be, shut down. And it's terrible that you have to kind of do things that way. But I go back to thinking, like, we were all created equally different. We're all created equal, but equally different. We look different. We have different personalities. We have different opinions. We got different gut health. We got different mindsets. We got different aspirations of what we want to do in our lives, different dreams, different goals. And that's what makes humanity unique. So, of course, you're always going to have a difference of opinions, whether it's religion, politics, all those things that encompasses our world, our life. Of course we are. We would be boring if we were all like robots and the same. How boring would it be if we were all blonde hair, blue eyed, brown hair, green eyes? Like, we would be boring. So, for the piece for me is, when you get a post like that, they're actually saying that announcement is going to cause harm. So I'm thinking to myself, well, if that's going to cause harm, does that apply to all the other candidates that may decide to run? Will that cause harm too? Where is the harm? And then backing that up with, we can't even review your request to review our decision because of the outbreak. Now, when I talk about outbreaks, of course, there's different seasons. You get the outbreak of the flu. Of course, we haven't seen that in a few years, or, whatever. Cold sometimes. Sometimes you get, outbreak of chickenpox. Those kinds of things do occur. So I'm not saying that, but there is currently no outbreak of what they're stating, which should not be a condition, because if you want to talk about factual information, that's not factual. So you're fact checking somebody that an announcement that actually occurred, but you didn't like it because you thought it would cause harm, but you can't even review the request from the person that you're banning or whatever you're restricting because of a fake outbreak that you're proclaiming is happening. That's kind of like a hamster wheel of nonsense.
Things that make you go,
Right. So yeah, that was one little tidbit that was going on. So like you're triumphing over that kind of stuff. That was a weird thing that happened. But we also talked about Wealth Wellness Wednesday in a way of really putting out good vibes, good attraction of what you want and what you hope to gain through your own health and wellness. And, helping other people is a big piece to wealth and wellness. And a lot of people say, well, how do you associate the two? How can money be, bring you wealth? Well, we know how money can bring us wealth, but how would that incorporate into wealthy and healthy? Well, we know, and we always talk about how gratitude is the greatest, if not the greatest human emotion of all. People, there's nothing more exciting than to see someone's face when they get something that they're not expecting. So that's the whole part of gratitude. Not like, they know it's coming. They know that birthday gift is coming. They know that Christmas gift is coming, or, they know that refund is coming. Hopefully everyone gets refunds this year. Let's put that out in the universe. But it's the unsuspecting moments of gratitude that I think is one of the greatest gifts. So when we talk about from an entrepreneurial mindset, and it doesn't mean you have to be an entrepreneur, it could be, whatever position you hold, whatever job you hold, it's just about mindset. So putting out in the universe, like how many people could I impact that need help, that if I had that ability to write a blank check, how cool would that be? Well, we know that our thoughts are electric currents. So when we're talking about putting it out in the universe and putting out those good vibes of hope, of goodness, of kindness, of wealth, and having that healthy relationship with money, because a lot of times a lot of people, it's like a taboo subject they don't want to talk about. But when you think about how you could impact someone else's life that's not suspecting it, that maybe is struggling to get that, couple of gallons of gasoline in their car to go back and forth to work, or get their kids back and forth to their, school or appointments and whatnot. Or how about, let's say, you have a church and that they need a new boiler. Wouldn't it be, just imagine that. I mean, think for yourself, just imagine just someone comes to you, or you hear someone's in need and you just could write that check and not think anything about it. So in order to get that mindset and keep that mindset, and we talk about this all the time, is you've got to really visualize your goals. You got to visualize your health and your wealth, and that's where they kind of merge together. So why would we choose an unsuspecting person versus a charity or someone we know? And the reason behind that is because they're not expecting. They're an unsuspecting person. You don't know them. They don't know you. And what a good feeling it is to know that someone cared enough to like slip me a couple bucks or put it in, a package, or, the gas, where you put the credit card in, or you open up that box of diapers and there's a $10 bill, whatever the amount is, because it's really not about the monetary amount. It's about just doing the act. And I think a lot of people get confused over that, Jan. They think, oh, I can't do this. I only got, I'm rubbing 2 nickels together. Well, guess what? Take those 2 nickels and put it out in the universe.
Well, exactly. It goes to, when you see a penny, pick it up, and then all day you'll have good luck.
Right.
Even if it was a penny, like, just think of that young little kid who sees a penny on like maybe a countertop or something in the store or a shelf and picks it up, and the feeling they get like, wow, I just, found a penny. Like, to me, like that brings a smile to my face. Could be something as simple as maybe you're at Bagellicious in North Haven, and that older couple that comes in, and that he's involved with the military, was involved with the military, and they are a very elderly couple, but they faithfully come in every Saturday, and you slip the owner some money and say, hey, anonymously, pay for their breakfast, and the joy that that couple feels. Like, I don't know, there's just something like getting back to basics and surprising that unsuspecting person in a way where that brings them joy. But I just think that is so amazing.
It is, and what also it sparks is that the gratitude doesn't stop there, and that does not go to say that maybe they turn around and help someone else right away, but you've sparked that interest to say, if someone did that for me, geez, next week I know I'm expecting a little bit more in my paycheck or whatever. I'm gonna do that for somebody else too. It's to spark the spark of kindness and paying it forward to other people. Even if you don't have that wealth, people, if you want to attract wealth, you got to put it out there, right? You got to put those positive thoughts. And that's why, the universe doesn't differentiate really right or wrong. They just understand the emotion of doing something, the thought process of doing something. And a lot of people say, well, what does that mean? There are many great movies, books, and things that talk about, the art of attraction, the law of attraction, why it works the way it does. So I'll give you one probably example that most people can relate to. How many times can you say you've gotten in your car, you've got to go, whether it's to school, an appointment, you have to be somewhere, airport, whatever it may be. And maybe you left your home a little bit later than you anticipated. And now you're like kind of stressed. I'm not going to get there. I'm not going to get there. Oh my God, there's going to be traffic. Oh, hopefully, fingers crossed. And all of a sudden you get on the highway and you're in bumper to bumper traffic. I think we all can relate to that. And the more you kind of go through the day that way, and so you're putting those thoughts out in the universe. Well, guess what? The universe that's what she wants. That's what that person wants. Or how about you get up, and again, how many people can relate to this? You stub your toe, or you bang your leg, or your arm, your elbow, whatever it may be, right? And this day's gonna suck. Oh, ouch, and then it's like a snowball effect. Then you burn your toast. Or then, you shake your shaker bottle. I've done this too. Shake your shaker bottle with your lifestyle mix and the cover's not on. And now you're covered and you're like, oh my God, I got to change my clothes now. And I'm running already late. Oh my God, this day's going to blah, blah. We all do that. So those are examples of law of attraction. The more you focus on negative things, you're attracting more negative things to happen to you. When you put out in the universe positive things, grateful heart, gratitude, kindness, love, those are the things that you're going to attract. Now, people can fight me on that all they want about the law of attraction. They can say you're talking bunk. And, I could think all day long of, putting money out in the universe and I don't get anything back. Well, see, you already started that process, that mindset wrong, because you're expecting that you're going to get something back. It doesn't always happen that way. Putting it out in the universe could be, unsuspecting, oh, I got a refund. You still put it out in the universe that, and when I say refund, maybe you overpaid a bill. I'm not specifically talking about, the tax piece to it. I'm talking about all of a sudden you got a refund check from, your electric company, or you got a credit. Like last month, I think it was last month, I must have paid too much on the bill. And then of course it was Wealth Wellness Wednesday. And I'm like, going out and doing my thing and helping other people and being kind. And the new bill actually came in the same day and I had this credit. I'm like, oh, I got a little credit going on there. My bill's lower this month. And it's things like that you have to look beyond all those things, and you have to put out those good vibes. And sometimes it's not easy. We know that, whatever's going on in the world, the alerts, the news, social media, whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, Wealth Wellness Wednesday is really a chance, an opportunity for you to pay it forward, to give kindness. Doesn't matter the monetary amount, but you want to make sure the key piece to Wealth Wellness Wednesday is it's got to be somebody you don't know. It's got to be somebody you don't know, because they are truly an unsuspecting person. Now, there may be people that that would also appreciate it. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about unsuspecting person, because that's really about what the law of attraction is about, impacting others in a positive way that you don't necessarily know. And you're paying that good emotion forward. So in turn, they're going to do the same thing. Maybe not that same day. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But they'll always remember that and think, wow, somebody that I don't know decided to do this. How cool is that? So there are many creative ways. What is your creative way? What would be your creative? What are you thinking for today?
That's a good question. I am not sure. I'm not even sure I'm going out, but if I was going out, it maybe be like at some point we have to get to the store over here where they sell all the pet stuff. So maybe it would be just, slip in a couple bills in between the individual cans, because a lot of times, obviously we have 2 little dogs. Everything is very expensive. That means pet food is getting very expensive.
It's outrageous. The pet foods right now is outrageous.
So, maybe, that person that comes in, oh my God, I can only afford to get, 2 or 3 cans. Maybe now they can get an extra 3 cans or something.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, something, I don't want to say simple, but it is simple in theory, but the practice of it, of course, being that, maybe taking that edge off for that person. I think about what the potential person that would find that what they may think, what maybe they're going through, like, geez, I don't have enough money to put gas in my car. Now I got to buy, pet food. And of course we're going to buy our pets food, before we would probably even buy ourselves food. So, how good would that make somebody feel? I think it would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, another creative way, which I've done in the past, and I got a couple bags of clothes ready. As we go to Goodwill, right? You donate clothes, anything that's gently used, you want to pay it forward, especially to all these different, you got soup kitchens, you got clothing kitchens, really to help those in need. A lot of times I'll put, sprinkle a few bucks in each bag. So, a lot of times the workers that are doing that, volunteer. They don't, they do it from the goodness of their heart. So whether, maybe they're sorting through and they find a couple bucks and say, oh my God, how cool is this? I've also gone to consignment shops where the stuff is already up. And I've gone into the women's section or the men's section or the kids section, and I'll stick a few bills in the clothes that are already cleaned and, ready to be sold. So when they get them home, they reach in that pocket, they'll find a couple bucks. There's so many creative things, so many creative ways that you can celebrate Wellness Wednesday. But the point is to really impact people, put that positive energy out there. Unsuspecting person, and knowing, we all personally know how we feel when somebody takes time out of their day or does something kind for us or nice, or an unsuspecting package comes in, or you get a note card from somebody. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel like, wow, they thought about me. So take that energy, take that feeling and bottle it and say, you know what, I'm gonna do the same for somebody else, and you'll feel better. No matter what you're going through, you'll know that you impacted somebody else's day in a positive way. And when you do things like that, that's the thought process. That's what you're putting out to the universe. you will receive that tenfold over. Believe me, you absolutely will. But that's one of the reasons why I love Wealth Wellness Wednesday. It's a day to feel good and make others feel good.
Absolutely. You know, and 'tis the season, we're coming into Thanksgiving. People are going to be traveling in the next days and, to be with family and friends. And, you know, that's what it's all about. So on that note, my name is Janice, aka Wellness Diva 5.0, and I am with
TwoSistas, and this is Carol Sue, aka Naughty Boss. I'm going to get my creative thinking on what I'm going to do for Wealth Wellness Wednesday. We encourage all of you to do the same. But guess what's coming up tomorrow? Tomorrow is Trending Thursday. So much is trending. We don't even know what's trending yet because there's going to be more things trending that are out there. So keep your eyes and ears open. And we always say, with that coming up, why don't you be the trendsetter? Why don't you start today, sharing Wealth Wellness Wednesday, and say, you know what, my trend setting is going to be being kind, especially during these times where people are traveling and, getting ready for the holidays and the bustle and, all that goes with that. So we wish you a great Wellness Wednesday. We will see you tomorrow for Trending Thursday. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.